Hello and welcome to the Valley. Today I am your host, Janet Michael. It is Extension Office Friday, and today's conversation is all about Gardenfest. It happens the first Saturday in June every single year at Belle Grove Plantation, hosted by the Northern Shenandoah Valley Master Gardeners. So today I'm on the Zooms with Candace DeLong. You may remember Candace. She did the show not too terribly long ago. I think she was a week or two into her job as a Frederick County Extension agent. Joining her today is Carolyn Sinclair and Jeff Wingate. They are both Master Gardeners, class of 2025. And Candace, we're going to talk a little bit about Gardenfest and what a great event it is. But before we do that, can you do a little bit of a education on the Master Gardener organization? Because it is a program or a part of Virginia Cooperative Extension overall, right?
It is. The Master Gardener program is part of Extension nationwide. So there is Extension Master Gardeners in every state around our country. So it's a really large program. But here in the Northern Shenandoah Valley, we have the best Master Gardeners, I think, right? We have the best group. So all of our Master Gardener volunteers, they go through 50 hours of education, pretty intense. And in return for that education, they give back 50 hours of service, which, as Jeff and Carolyn could tell you, turns into hours, hundreds of hours of service. It's a really great group of volunteers who put a lot of time into their education. And this event, Gardenfest, is the way that we really fundraise for all of our educational programs we're doing in the community. So it's really important to us.
Carolyn, you don't become a master gardener necessarily because you want your own garden at home to be better. You become a master gardener so that you can then give that knowledge to other people who want their garden at home to be better.
Absolutely. The whole reason of becoming a master gardener is because we love gardening and because we love plants and because we want others to love them as much as we do, that we enjoy going out and getting others fired up and excited about what we know and about how they can improve their knowledge of their own gardening and their plants and what they're doing in their homes.
Because Gardenfest has been going on for so long, was it intimidating to you to take over as a co-lead for this event?
Yes. So I actually hadn't realized how long it had been going on when I actually stepped up and said, hey, let's Jeff, I, and Myrna co-lead this event. But looking at it and researching, it's been going on at least since 2009. And it started in Master Gardeners' homes with them sharing plants and swapping plants. And then it went public and got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger every year from what I can see in the history until what it is today.
So, Jeff, was this your bright idea? Did you go to Carolyn and say, hey, let's co-lead this event? Or did she come to you and you looked at her like she'd sprouted a third eye?
Well, it's interesting. I was actually on vacation and maybe drinking sangria, and she texts me and says, will you be a co-lead? And I said, sure. So here we are.
That is the equivalent of missing a meeting, although the sangria and the vacation part makes it a little nicer. Did you realize just how much work was going to go into this? Because I think from the front-facing side, like for me as someone who comes to that event, it runs so seamlessly. It's hard for me to imagine all of the things that you have to do behind the scenes.
It's a lot of work, but I think because of how many people from our class are involved, and then how many people are involved that Carolyn and Myrna and I have been involved with projects, ongoing projects throughout the year to get our community involvement points back and credits back. We know everybody, and so we've talked about it all year. And then to be there last year and see how that works, the mechanics, and what were the big successes. And then the takeaways, the conversation, were really focused on how do we enhance this experience? How do we enhance it for the volunteers? Certainly without volunteers, you can't run a successful event. How do you enhance it for the vendors? If we can't make this a better experience for vendors, they're not going to return. And then, of course, the guest experience. And what do we do with that feedback? So I think it's been a phenomenal collaboration. I think it's a lot of work. It's bringing a lot of people together, but we're just super excited.
And Carolyn, it's still at its core a plant swap of sorts, because a large percentage of the plants that people are able to buy at this event are grown by the master gardeners. You're separating bulbs and you're starting things from seed. You're doing all of that like you always have.
Yes, right now we have around 2,100 plants that we'll be selling, plants, trees, and shrubs this year, and they're all from Master Gardeners Gardens. We have been having potting parties at people's homes and digging up hundreds of plants and potting them and then taking them to our houses and plant setting them and nurturing them so they'll be in perfect shape for the sale. We have over 237 different types of plants we're going to be selling this year.
This event happens in Middletown at Belle Grove, but it's not just the Frederick County master gardeners that are participating. Shenandoah County is involved. You have master gardeners up and down the Shenandoah Valley.
We do all 5 counties. So Page County, Clarke County, Shenandoah County, Frederick County, and Warren County.
Jeff, does that make it easier or harder given the variety of plants you likely have access to?
The variety is phenomenal. It just becomes a matter of logistics. We are so blessed to live in this fantastic valley, but we're all up and down the valley with pots and soil and trucks, making sure that we are taking advantage of what people want to donate. And that becomes a whole other part of this, where it's the sense of community and social, of being in somebody else's environment. I live in Warren County. I wouldn't go to Page County normally. It creates new experiences for all of us.
When you're looking at your plant selection and plant variety, is that where some of that reviewing past years comes into play? I seem to recall, I don't remember if it was last year or the year before, the decision was made that hostas would no longer be available at Gardenfest because you were always left with a lot of them at the end of the day. Does that make it more complicated?
Complicated, maybe more work. Let's put it that way. Last year, Elaine was in charge of that, and she actually went around and recorded every hour what plants had sold and how fast they had sold. You know, hostas are deer candy, right? So they don't tell because the deer love them. And so we're going to do the same thing this year. Our team inherited such phenomenal records of previous years of how to do Gardenfest. And every year they've improved upon it. And so we ended up with this phenomenal log that we could pass on to our person in charge of plants this year. And she took that and then decided, here are the plants we're going to want this year, and here are the ones we aren't going to want. And every year we'll be editing that.
And you've added over the years, like you didn't always do shrubs and bushes and trees, and you've started doing those in the last several years. And then I've noticed in the last 2, you've had a lot more of those as well. I'm guessing because people are asking for them and they would really like to have them.
Yeah, for sure. And we're really trying to stress natives every year. So the majority of our plants are going to be native trees, shrubs, and plants. And then we'll have some non-natives, but the majority are going to be, the weight of our foot's going to be on native plants because they're going to thrive best in the valley.
Jeff, that goes back to that education piece that we talked about a second ago, in that while this is a fundraising event and it's a great opportunity for me to come and get things for my garden, it's also an opportunity for you as a master gardener to let people know what a native plant is and why it's important. And you also get that really great information about this is where you should plant it and this is how you should take care of it for the first couple of weeks and then long term. It's a really great educational event for you.
And the educational piece is even more broader than the plants. So the educational piece from the plant standpoint of Ask a Master Gardener will have a tent just dedicated for folks that go and ask a master gardener about plants they're buying, the plants in their garden today. They could share information. They can ask questions. They can ask for a follow-up if they want someone to respond to something else outside of Gardenfest. So that educational piece for Ask a Master Gardener will be there. But in addition, there are kids programs designed around education, get kids engaged in horticulture and planting, and then what we're doing in the valley. There are such things as knife sharpening, education about safe ways to sharpen your knife. The whole program that we're rolling out through Gardenfest is a way to buy phenomenal plants. Note, if you want peonies, they're great this year. You better get in line at 8 o'clock. Anyway, just a side note. But the educational piece is throughout the whole event. And so we're really excited to offer what we have. Carolyn, I'll let you talk about this, but Carolyn came up with a great idea, 15-minute workshops. So Carolyn, why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so this year we're trying something very new. So we're calling mini workshops, and they're literally 15-minute workshops, and they cover everything from tool sharpening and care to pruning, to growing vegetables, to preserving your harvest, to flower arranging. And there's 6 different workshops. They're going to be spread throughout the plant area in Gardenfest with times advertised. And people can just stand and listen and hear 3 or 4 main points about that topic.
I think that is brilliant. Years ago, they used to do some of those things. I recall going to something Elaine was doing, talking about seeds. And I loved being able to learn things while I was there.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping. And we're hoping, we know people are there for plants and to buy plants, right? So that's why we tried to make it just 15 minutes. So that we're not asking them to commit to a 45-minute presentation, but just a short little prick their interest. And then maybe they're going to attend something else we offer to expand that further.
And then to enhance that whole guest customer engagement, each 15-minute seminar, the people attending will get a raffle ticket. And then at the end, we'll pull that and someone will win a prize based on what's happening at that information session. Our vendors have been so generous with us that they've donated things to support all the educational programs that we're really trying to enhance and focus on this year.
So what I'm hearing is I need to get there early and stay all day.
Yes. And there's food.
There's food. So let's take a break. We come back. Let's talk about those vendors. Let's talk about the food and all of that sort of stuff. We're on the Zooms today talking about Gardenfest. It is happening on Saturday, June 6th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I will say you do have to get there early if you want to get the good stuff. It is a rain or shine event. It's happening at Belle Grove. We're going to get more details about that event when we come back in just a couple of minutes.
Okay, what are you doing with your kids all summer? I can't do another screen time marathon every time it's too hot outside or I need to work.
Same. That's why I signed mine up for Typewriter Studio camps.
Oh, I've seen that place. In Old Town Winchester, it's cute. Art, right?
Yeah, but way more than that. Confidence, goals, history, culture, with real art educators. And different camps every week. My kids actually grow there.
Wait, what ages?
1st through 8th grade, June through August. Half or full day. And you can even stack with the Discovery Museum.
Okay, that's smart.
Starts at just $180 with sibling discounts, so both of yours can go.
Send me that link.
Already did. It's typewriterstudio.org. Oh, and use code FULLDAY at checkout for 15% off the PM camps.
Don't waste another summer. Have your kid explore, play, create cool art, and build friendships in a safe, creative space with limited class sizes and licensed teachers. Visit typewriterstudio.org and click Summer Camps. Use code FULLDAY at checkout for 15% off the PM camp. Additional savings for members.
Back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. It is all about Gardenfest for Extension Office Friday. Candace DeLong is joining me on the Zooms. She is the newest Extension agent. She's based in Frederick County, but she does serve all 5 of our surrounding areas. Master Gardeners Carolyn Sinclair and Jeff Wingate, class of 2025, are joining us as well. We're talking about Gardenfest. And Candace, this is a huge event. It is for a good part of the day. And people should come early. So can you give me the details about where they should go and all of that sort of thing?
June 6th, gates open at 8 a.m., but I've been told people show up earlier than that. So you can show up at 8 a.m., but you might not be first in line. So 8 a.m. start. It goes till 2 p.m. And this is really important to our Master Gardener program because we need funds to run our educational programs that we do in all 5 counties. We have plants, we have education, vendors, all kinds of stuff. At Belle Grove Plantation.
This is, as you said, a very popular event. I remember one year I got there at maybe 9:15 or 9:30. The other really cool thing that you guys do is you keep track of who's coming in through the gate. But when I got there that morning, I found one of the Master Gardeners and found out that I was like number 225 through the gate at 9:15. So I knew that it was a busy day already. So getting there early is a really good piece of advice. Jeff, let's talk about vendors. We talked about them a little bit in the last segment because you're not the only plants that are there. You have plant vendors, you have craft vendors, you have a lot of different things for people to be able to shop and see during the event.
Absolutely. Just to reiterate what Carolyn said, so as far as the plant sales, the plants are $6, the trees are $12. Overall, we have 237 types of plants, but we're selling over 2,000 or 2,100 plants. So there's a lot to shop for once you get through the gates. We have 36 vendors currently signed up, and this is a variety of retail vendors, nonprofits, other groups that are about education, and then food vendors. So there's a lot to do. Certainly, it's a very family-friendly event. There's a lot to do also for kids. So we truly recognize what happens once the gates open. As you said, you got there at 9:15, I think you said, Janet?
Yes.
So if you get there at 9:15, some of those popular plants may not, you got to think about that. Candace said queuing up at 8 o'clock is a good thing. The parking lot gates open at 7 a.m. People really do show up and start parking at 7 a.m. We're ready to go. We're ready to accommodate everybody. Once people get in, we certainly have vendors that have coffee and hot chocolate. We have, which is crazy this year, we have not only some wonderful baked goods, but we have Cousin's Maine lobster there. We have Sexy Mexi. We have a taste of the Philippines. And then, of course, what all the kids asked for last year was the Cotton Candy Princess truck will be there. So it's going to be awesome. These vendors are just doing phenomenally well and not doing things that maybe you saw 10 years ago. Vendors are bringing new and innovative products. And I think we're going to have a really exciting retail offering. And again, the nonprofits that are there with education pieces as well. It's just going to be a great event.
I love that you mix in those nonprofits because I have learned about bees. I have learned about wildflower meadows. I have learned about so many different things from these different nonprofits that set up that a lot of times people don't have access to in any other way. And maybe they've always wondered about something. And then lo and behold, they're walking around Gardenfest and here's a whole table set up with experts that are able to answer any of your questions. So I love that that's a good mix of what you have at Gardenfest. So, Carolyn, how do you figure out where everything's going to go? Because
Well,
Belgrove is pretty large, but you still got to make sure everything is going to fit.
we do. We have a lot of what did we do last year and how did that work? And we get a lot of feedback from the vendors and from the leads that did last year and what we need to change or tweak a little bit. And then we also meet with Kristen at Belgrove because they do a lot of other events there. And we talk to them about what worked at those events? What are the things they think we should tweak in how we do Gardenfest? We have an entire group, a committee, that their job is to place where each vendor is going to go and where the porta potties are going to go and where are the plants going to go. And so we basically have a group and that's their exclusive job is to figure out that map. Then we let everybody know where their position is.
So my big tip that I tell everybody every year is if you own a wagon or a stroller or something that has wheels that will carry a plant in, you should bring it with you. That still holds true as well, right?
It definitely does. We are going to have boxes available for people to put plants in as they're shopping. But if you have a wagon or something that'll help you get them out to your car easier, it's going to help you in so many ways. And my understanding is years ago, Gardenfest had wagons that people could use. But that was a really complicated, complex system to pick them up and use them and take them back and the whole 9 yards. And so the decision was made several years ago to stop that, have boxes available and tell people to bring their wagons.
And Jeff, you mentioned parking and the fact that parking opens so early. Belgrove has a special pull-up area where people can maybe load their cars. If you need access to handicap parking, you have a few of those spaces that are designated as well.
Absolutely. And so when people are checking in, and the check-in is very obvious as to where to go. And we've got people chatting with people once they arrive. And so we've got every accommodation. It's all very thoughtfully laid out to accommodate anybody's needs. The reality is Belgrove has a phenomenal staff that works on that parking field all year long. And so we were up there just talking to them about what they're doing and getting ready for this event. It really is amazing what they learned even last year and filling in to make it even more of a safe parking environment because there's a lot of mud last year. Belgrove is phenomenal to work with all of that. The other thing I do want to highlight is that what additionally is different this year. So Carolyn's taking care of all kinds of great educational pieces. She's enhancing that whole program. I know Candace is thrilled that we're really working with the whole mission statement behind education, but we also like to have the fun and community. That's part of what we're doing as Master Gardeners. So this year, we are so fortunate that the vendors that are attending the event and then some outside vendors have donated things for gift baskets. So we're going to have a whole tent inside the event where you buy a raffle ticket for a chance to win these phenomenal gift baskets. And this isn't just a gift basket where it's just one little item. One gift basket for the vendors has 19 items in it. Wow. There's one from the Warren County, the Front Royal Business District. They've got a whole nother gift basket just from vendors from Front Royal. It's really going to be a cool thing. Linda Bartlett, who runs our Secondhand Rose tent, it's kind of a whole display. It's not even just a tent. She has a silent auction going on over there. But all of the money raised goes towards the overall success of this event. And so we recognize we capitalize on the plant sales, but we're looking to augment this whole experience. And as Candace says, this is our biggest fundraiser to fund all of our programs for 5 counties for the entire year.
I'm glad you mentioned Secondhand Rose because I pick up so many good deals and so many bargains at Secondhand Rose every year. It's like this mini pop-up thrift store full of things you didn't know you needed until you see them sitting there on a table.
So the takeaways with that, just as Janet said, bring cash. Cash is king for this stuff, I'm telling you. So with raffle tickets or Linda's auction, I've got to tell you, bring cash.
I'm excited about a silent auction. I am all in on one of those, particularly because the husband wanders over to get his tools sharpened and has no idea what it is I'm doing. Sad. Will you have the tool sharpening workshops there where people can drop off their shears and their pruners and things like that?
For sure. Absolutely.
Because that's handy too. I know you're going to do a workshop on how to do it safely, but the safest way to do it is to get someone else to do it for you.
Very true.
This is a free event. It doesn't cost anyone anything to walk in the door. And anything that you buy while you're there, whether it's from a vendor or it's a plant from the master gardeners or it's food, it does such good in our community to be able to go back, Jeff, like you said, and fund those programs. You do kids programs at the library. You have scholarships for people who want to be a master gardener. There are a lot of things that you do out in the community that people may not know about. All they know about is Gardenfest.
That definitely is true. We care for historical gardens. We do the seed exchange. We do indoor plant clinics throughout every county. We do Ask the Master Gardener desk at every county. And so all of those things that we do, they often need resources for supplies and things that we need to buy. And this event is where we're able to fund those.
So, Candace, Saturday, June 6th, always the first Saturday in June, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., though you can get parking at 7 a.m., highly recommended. It is a rain or shine event. So when Jeff joked earlier about last year, the field being a little muddy, the show must go on. So it's going to happen, rain or shine. Are there things that you want people to know? Like I joke about making sure you bring your own wagon. I'm guessing wearing comfortable shoes is probably a good idea.
Right. You need comfortable shoes that you can walk around in for a while because we want you to be there for a while. Bring your wagon if you have it. We'll have those boxes. Have your plant list in your head ready to pick stuff out.
It is a family-friendly event. No pets for this particular event. It's not that Belle Grove doesn't allow pets because they do, but for an event like this, when you got a lot of people and a lot of kids walking around, it's safer sometimes to leave your dogs and your pets at home.
We all love our fur babies, but when you think about family at Thanksgiving, leave the pets at home.
When you do your pricing for the Master Gardener grown plants, you make that very, very easy for me as a consumer as well, because they're all one price, right?
Correct. Every plant is $6. Trees and shrubs are $12, no matter what you get. We take cash, check, or credit cards.
And the list of all of them are on your website, so people can use that as a shopping list before they come?
Correct. Before you come, you'll be able to see exactly what plants are being offered at Gardenfest.
Well, I'm excited to meet the two of you in person that day, so I'm going to come and find you and have some crazy, off-the-wall, weird gardening question. So just brace yourself.
Great.
Janet, I see the wall behind you. Once you get there, I'll have coffee for you.
This is why I love doing this show. This is why I've kept at it for so many years, because people are so nice to me. So where can people go, Candace, to get more details, to find more information about Gardenfest? Is there a website, social media? Give me those details.
We do have Northern Shenandoah Valley Master Gardeners Facebook page. We've been posting on there. The plant list will be at nsvmga.org. And you can always call the extension office or visit our website. If you call the extension office, we can get you to the right person or give you details right away that way. So that's a good step too.
Jeff, thank you for taking the time to give me some insight into this and for offering to have coffee for me that day. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We'll continue to celebrate your Cal Ripken record-breaking run.
And Carolyn, it was great to meet you. I can't wait to come and attend some of these workshops. I'm going to be the smartest non-master gardener in the Shenandoah Valley.
I look forward.
Honorary.
And Candace, no one has heard our conversation yet on the box tree moth, to be determined. So they still have to tune in to hear us talk about the box tree moth.
Yeah, they can attend Gardenfest because our master gardener, Cindy Stock, will be speaking about box tree moth that day too. So they can listen and then they can check it out at Gardenfest.
Fantastic. I will be back on Monday with a brand new episode of The Valley Today, just a few minutes after noon. So meet me here then.